Okay,
Okay, it's
make a nice
recording now.
angle here. Ah,
Yeah, the angles looks amazing on you, sir. So yeah, hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. I think it's afternoon, right? Good
good
afternoon.
afternoon. Yes,
Yeah, good afternoon.
Bali time, 4 o'clock afternoon.
Yeah. So welcome back to BVC Talk number 19. Today we have a very special guest with us from Orgi Architects. And yeah, so I'm here to be the moderator. So I'll go. Okay. So yeah, for everyone who doesn't know that we have a program called Community Talk, and our objective is to inspire delight. We're building a trusted community where property owners can discover great talent, like what you're going to see in the moment. And we invited trusted industry professionals that have proven track record and established business in the region. So me as the moderator, I will ask questions on behalf of our property owners. So yeah, so here's a little bit format for today. We're going to go to introduction. I'll introduce our host, community, our guest today, and also myself a little bit. And going forward to the discussion with OG Architects, it's OG Architects, yeah, to
Correct.
discuss, yeah, to discuss about the portfolio and also the services. And we're going to end up with some closing statements as well. All right, so okay, so sadly our CEO couldn't make it today due to his schedule conflicting. So I will briefly introduce our CEO today. His name is Jing Choyang. He's our CEO and also co-founder of Bukit Vista. He used to study at UC Berkeley, and he used to work at Airbnb and Aman Resort. And a little bit fun fact about him is he used to dance with Hrit Roshan and Aishwarya Rai in Bollywood movie before.
Well, I
Yes.
mean, this needs explanation. Who the hell is Hriti Roshan? Does
It,
anybody know this person?
it's actually a very famous Bollywood actors,
Are
if
you
I'm not
sure? Have you seen him
mistaken.
or her?
I think I saw Aishwarya Rai on
Okay.
like some movies, but I'm not really sure about the other person.
But you're right, it's a fun. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. So yeah, moving forward. So okay, so now it's time for me to introduce myself. So my name is Lydia. Surprisingly, my job or my role in Bukit Vista is actually UI UX designer. I'm in product development or chapter in Bukit Vista. And before I used to study at Escola Superior de Diseño in Barcelona, Spain.
Wow, that's cool.
And yeah, and fun fact about me, I want to say I love eating, but that's too much. I want to say like I love traveling and eating as well. So yeah, that's it. Actually, I hope everyone gets to me better. Okay, so our vision and mission. Okay, vision or the mission for Bukit Vista is that we want to inspire delight through hospitality innovation that positively transform our guests, markets, and also our employees. Okay, so here we have a lot of amazing like pictures. This actually from OG Architects, a little bit screenshots, and we taken it from portfolio of OG Architects, and we're going to get deeper more later. Yeah, it's also this one very good looking buildings over here. Okay, now here's time for Mr. Oliver Gehlen to briefly introduce himself. So the time is yours, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Nadia, thank you very much for all that introduction and for a little bit brief overview what you're doing there. So yeah, a little bit about me, but I really keep it very brief. I'm a German, grew up in Germany, studied in Germany, studied half in Munich, a little bit in Switzerland as well in Zurich. Studied architecture rather late in my life, so I just finished when I was starting 30s. And then working briefly as architect in Germany, but rather soon I moved to Indonesia, and I'm now since 20 years in Indonesia. Have my family here, 2 kids, and started my architecture business here. I moved here 2001, and the business started 2003, 2004. So yeah, so this is somehow my career path. Beside architecture, I do participatory planning and participatory decision making among groups, so helping them if they're in complex situations. But yeah, my main job is really architecture and planning villas, private homes, residentials mainly, a little bit hotels as well. Yeah, that's so far to me. What did I write here as fun fact? What was it? Oh yeah, my trip. Okay.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
Berlin Bali trip.
I made a motorbike trip last year, or already 2 years ago, from Berlin to Bali in 2019, end of 19, and that was really a major event for me, planning wise, and then carrying it out. It was really fun, being 4 months on the road, and yeah, traveling all these 2 continents, 23 countries, and good experience, good learning.
Oh wait, so you went traveling by motorbike?
Yes,
From
really,
Berlin to
from
Bali?
Berlin to Bali, driving all the time motorbike. Yes, for 4 months.
Oh my God. For 4 months. Oh, do you do it like? Did you do it alone, or you with like? Were you with
No,
some people?
with a friend. We were 2 guys, 2 motorbikes,
Uh-huh.
and yeah.
Oh,
So
amazing.
so that was the highlight so far in the last couple of years for me. And I thought that's a fun fact for people to know because not too many people do that.
Yeah, that's actually amazing. Do you actually have like something, a platform where you share the story? Because I think 4 months traveling by motorcycle is worth sharing.
Well, yeah, for people who are really into blogging and Instagram and so on, yeah, I think I'm just too old for that. And I didn't do it to promote it. For me, that was just a personal experience. Of course, I have a lot of pictures and film material, but I didn't somehow publish it yet. So, but if you're privately interested, I will give you my Instagram later on, so you see something.
Oh, please, please, please. I would love to see. Please. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the very brief introductions. Very amazing. Yeah, so today we are with OG Architects. Maybe before we go through to the question that's going to represent our partners, I would like to dip more about, I saw here's in your portfolio here.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you could tell a little bit more about OG Architects. What did you do with OG Architects, and are you like the only person in OG Architects, or do you have, I don't know, like a lot of teams behind OG Architects?
Yes, of course, that's important. As an architect, you hardly ever work alone. Even you give the name for your company, but you rely heavily on your staff as well, who are really highly experienced. And only if you have good staff, you have good architecture. So yeah, I have a team of 4 architects here. It's a partnership here with another office as well, with somehow association. And you see the picture of my how do you call him, my associate or compagnon. And he has another 4 or 5 architects here. So yeah, there you see the picture of Antonio. He studied in Berkeley as well, actually. So maybe they know each other.
Oh.
And so the bigger projects we carry out together, and the smaller projects everybody does with his own team. So altogether we are here maybe 12 people if the office is full and nobody's sick. So and not Corona, yeah, then we are 12 people in the office. So yeah, and we are, myself, I'm established here since, let's say, 16, 17 years. Antonio already more than 25 years. So it's a vast experience of architecture, mainly Indonesia, and the majority in Bali as well. Oh, there you see a team of now 14. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Now we're only 12. Architect, support staff, and so on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So here we can see like a lot of portfolios of you here. Like I think it's not only your works in my correct, sir.
In the
Like
portfolio, in the portfolio is all my work from OG Architects. So there's a mix of renovations and refurbishments and newly built stuff. This is a villa in Seminyak. I think it was a 4-bedroom on 8 acre of land, so quite big. With nice interior, so which we moduled as well, with a new pool and many new parts. The next one you see, which is coming up now, it's on the seafront. It's a seafront villa close to Klungkung. Huge land, I think nearly 20 acre or something. And we made a really big infinity pool which disappears in the sea, so the views are gorgeous actually. And it's a rental villa mainly for weddings and big families who need 5 to 6 bedrooms with a spa and with a TV room and fitness room and so on. So quite luxurious project.
Okay, wow, very.
You need more detail to the projects, or what are you interested in?
Okay, so actually, I want because I see like there are a lot of various different style, actually, like concept. Do you stick with one concept, or do you actually like design according to what the clients needs and want, or how it works? Or
I mean, that's a good question, and it's really always the question for an architect. So what style do you build? And in our case, as we are not Franco Gehry and we are not Zaha Hadid, we don't have a distinguished style. And I believe very much in, let's say it like this. So many architects have a big ego. Architecture itself is a rather egoistic job where you want to fulfill your own dreams as architect. I believe strongly in the fact that you fulfill the dreams of your clients and you spend their money, you spend often their life savings. So the task for me as architect is to find out what they really want and how their dream look like. And then of course I come in with my knowledge, with my own taste, with my own ideas, and we combine a product together. So, but I'm not that sort of architect which says, look, this is my style, you want to work with me, you will get this. And if not, please look for another architect. So that's really not my thing. I know some other architects are there. They have a very distinguished style. I would say I'm in general very contemporary. Come from the German Bauhaus school, which means straight lines. I really believe in clean, straight architecture where you experience things rather easily. When you open the door, you understand the architecture, so you're not confused. I believe in maximizing the space, even on very small grounds. Sometimes we have 3 acre plots, and the clients wants to get most out of it. And there you see the quality of an architect. What can he do on a really small plot? It doesn't look cramped, and you don't waste space, but you really squeeze out the best even out of a very small plot. Yeah? So yeah, that's a little bit towards my style, but if you let me build and if there's no, let's say, no particular thing the client needs, then I go rather bright colors, very white, very linear, straight. I could even say boxy, very, very clean, very squarish. So that's the thing I like personally.
oh, okay. Maybe it's kind of like another question. Like, was there any type of clients who wants to bid something that's really outside of your distinctive works, for example, like very unique, like you've never done it before, but have you done that type of works before, sir?
Well, I had once a client who wanted. It was a very complex design process through several revelations, and he changed his mind rather often. He went through 4 or 5 different versions of his house, and in the very end he wanted to build something with carbonate. So in the very end he asked me to do the whole building in polycarbonate, even roof walls and so on. And we went into a very heated discussion even before that. I'm very much into fulfilling the client's dreams. But then to the point where I could say, well, I cannot help you. I will not do a polycarbonate for you, because I know about all these difficulties and details, and even you tell me, yeah, it's all guaranteed, and the silicon they give guarantee, and the polycarbonate company gives guarantees. I don't want that, because I know you will be, in a couple of years, you will be in trouble with the climate in the house, with the materials, and so on in the tropics. So with this Swiss client who didn't have experience in the tropics, I had to decline his ideas and his wishes. And this was rather particular, yeah. So that somebody wanted to have a house fully in polycarbonate, where I had to refuse.
Oh, okay, I see. So I believe that you also take into account about sustainability and also environmental that type of matter.
And the project which you just see here on the screen, which is the hospitality school in North Bali, Buleleng, SLS. That's actually a good example of a very green building. I mean, generally I come from, I'm German, so I studied there in the 90s. Germany is the leading country in Europe when it comes to green topics, to photovoltaic, to energy saving. The Germans were always the leading company there, and in architecture as well. So this was a major topic when I studied. Saving energy and using alternative materials. But I hardly can do it in Bali, to be honest. Even I offer it my clients very often, but then we run into problems budget-wise, or ideology that people don't want to. They have their limits as well to imagine things. With this school, we could do quite a lot. You see, it's a huge area, I think over 2,000 square meters built up space. And we have a green roof, fully green roof, and the client agreed, and it will be all even permaculturally grown on the roof. So it will be a useful green on the roof. So there will be herbs and mainly herbs which can be used then from the roof. And the whole building is rather naturally climatized, hardly any AC, dealing a lot with high ceilings, cross ventilation, passive cooling, with ponds in front of the windows, so the pond gives the cooling through the windows, and so on and so on. A lot of grey water use, toilets which are organic as well, so no plastic septic tanks, but it's all clean through septic gardens. So this is quite, I wouldn't say innovative, but the client was ready to go the extra mile to create the building.
Yeah. Has this building been? I mean, like this works. I mean, like progressing. I mean, like building at the moment, or just a concept.
This building is it's under construction. What you see here is drawings, but just made them a couple of months ago when it was already under construction. It's now progress, so it's assumed to be finished in exactly 1 year. Building time period is 1.5 years. And so I guess in 2023 they expect to have the first students there in the school. So this is really, I like this project very much. Somehow a community help work, because these investors, the idea is really to help the poorer community in Buleleng, which is one of the poorest parts in Bali, and to help the youngsters there to get a proper education and get access to good jobs in South Bali. But all the hospitality schools are all in South Bali. Families in North Bali, they cannot afford to send their kids to South Bali, and then the schools are rather there as well. So this school will be highly subsidized for a very high percentage of local kids. And this all comes from this investor, based in Singapore, and they use a certain percentage of their income every year to do social projects, community development projects. And for the last couple of years, they invested in this Bali project.
Oh, wow. So that's actually one part of our vision and mission in Bukit Vista, to inspire delight. So I think this kind of project is really inspire delight a lot of people. I
hope so, yeah.
We all hope so. I think it's going to be inspiring a lot of people. Okay, so that's actually it. We can talk a little bit more later on. So moving on to our first topic discussion, sir. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
So our first topic discussion is, can you tell us a little bit more about your works and how it positively impacts a property owners in terms of value and also relationship? Maybe you can tell us a little bit more details on it.
Yeah. What is the positive impact? I mean, we as architects, what we do actually, we do the best for our clients. We are only responsible for our clients. We don't work for contractors, for anybody else. We are very independent. We have a very exclusive with the client, and it's a very diverse relationship. So we do actually the best we can with the budget of the client to make the build most sustainable. That means quality-wise, we try to squeeze out most that is possible for the client has. And as we as architects, we know about qualities and where are the difficulties and where are the shortcomings of buildings and where you have to spend a little bit more money in order to have longer value for things. Yeah? And like energy, the whole plumbing and electricity part in buildings is often neglected by contractors, and often clients fall in the trap that they go for cheap solutions, or they see of compound houses built by development companies, but they don't know what is in the walls and how things have been done. Are the foundations properly? Are the cables regional standard? Is there a termite treatment or not? They will never see it. They will see these things after a couple of years after the termites come, or if the pipes fail, or if the electricity shortcuts, then they will realize, oh my God, that was a shabby job. And we as architects in general, and me as German architect in particular, have a look into quality. I believe architecture is a luxury. Nobody needs architects, but people who want the extra mile, who want the extra quality, wise and quality-wise, they will hire an architect. Yes. But beside that, architecture is a luxury. I mean, we have to look outside, left and right. Most of the buildings are not done by architects. They are done by the cousin of the owner who, I don't know, is a structural engineer and who built a house. He copied a house and built it there again. So, I mean, we don't need architects. But if you get an architect and if one, then you get the extra luxury, the extra quality, and you can fulfill what you dream of. Yeah? So, and in the best case, this has an impact on a good relationship afterwards with the client and the architect. You become friends, yeah? Because you fulfill their dreams, and they realize that you do your best with their money, according to their budget. Yeah?
Okay, so it's actually kind of related to my previous answer. Like about the sustainability and also environmental friendly type of thing. Like how do you like your client toward that kind of approach?
You used a word which is very difficult in my point of view. I cannot persuade a client. I can inform clients about the plus minuses, about this material and that material. This will last longer. This has less carbon footprint. This needs less energy to produce. This needs less energy to maintain, and so on. And I put this all into consideration and in perspective, and then the client decides. And I tell often the client, well, I would prefer this material, but maybe it costs a little bit more, or maybe it has this disadvantage or disadvantage. In the end, it's the decision of the client. But I help the client to make a very informed decision on things, on green materials, on long-lasting materials, on quality materials, on.
Oh, okay.
And of course, I have materials, and I try to convince or explain my client that use this one, he will get that and that, and I can show him pictures how the effect would be. But often clients have their own mind as well, and they say, no, I don't like this at all. I really want to have, let's say, a polished marble, and I'm not really a friend of polished marble, but okay, I mean, I will show them different sorts of polished marble, and if they're really happy with it, and if they know the disadvantages of it, then we go for polished marble. Okay.
Okay, so so you're more prioritized into what the client needs.
Because the needs are so different. Yeah, even I'm a friend of one material, but you cannot make everybody happy with the same approach or with the same material. It's impossible.
That actually happened to me because I'm not designing a building, but I'm designing like software applications. So like rely on the client needs. User needs is actually very important to actually like the user to use the thing that we're
really
building.
know what the user wants, what they want to achieve. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there you have to have a lot of knowledge as architect as well about different materials. So if he's not happy with this, you must have an alternative. And it's not enough to say, oh, I know, if you don't want this one, I don't know. So of course you have to have immediately alternative. There you see the difference between, let's say, senior architects and youngsters. That as a senior architect, you have seen so much materials, building methods, applications, and so on. And you can compare and you can give the client all the information he needs to make a good decision.
Yep. I can totally agree with that. Okay, so moving on to our second topic discussion. So I think we've seen your portfolio, your projects before. So which projects do you feel really enhanced your credibility and also your talent? Or do you want me to open portfolio again?
I would say there are two, and one said, the one you opened there is one I like very much. First of all, it's a social project, this hospitality school. Second, it's very nice to work with this client because they are very open-minded, not an investor. If you build a hotel for an investor, the relation will be very different than if you build a school for a socially engaged sponsor. And that I find it more rewarding, the relationship. So I'm proud of this because they choose me because I had a natural birth clinic before as a social responsibility. I did this clinic for free, and they know that. So they hired me and asked me if I can do that for them for a special fee as well. And I'm happy to do something for a discount if it's helpful for the community. Therefore, I'm proud of this project. Design-wise as well, because it's different from what we do normally. I told you, we can go very boxy and very contemporary, clean lines, white boxes. Well, this is a little bit different. This is a very natural shape. It's like a Nautilus shell. It's lingering out. We use different language, architecture language, than we would do normally for villas. And therefore, I'm proud of that because it's a little bit different in our portfolio. Otherwise, yes.
Does it like use all the materials that you propose or you recommended, sir? Or back again to the budget? Does this project like also use or your recommended materials or your proposed materials, or it's back again depends on the budget of the clients?
Often depends on the budget, but design-wise, we could do a lot what we suggested the client, and they agreed as well. So, example, there are slanting columns which are not standing vertical, but a little bit slanting, and it's just a design reason. But the client agreed with that, and material-wise, I wouldn't say we use very particular materials there. Besides that, it's a green roof and an excessive green roof over 1,000 square meters, maybe. But it has to be a solid building, so it is a concrete roof. It's brick walls. It's normal plaster, wooden windows, wooden doors. But reclaimed wood. So besides, there are not particular materials because the budget as well. You can imagine it's a sponsored for the community sponsored building. So this is a different standard than a high-end villa. So therefore, the challenge was there to stay in a budget and to design something according to the budget for the client. So yeah, this would be one project which I can say I'm proud of, and I really look to see that finished. And another one would be a villa project which is not in the portfolio, sadly, because it's too new, which is in Sanur. But maybe you scroll up, let me see what is there. That's which is recent as well. That's very nice, and there you see more a style which we do a lot. Let's go down again.
Okay.
The one you had before.
This one?
No, the one below. The one you had right after the school, which you opened after the school. Maybe a little bit below again.
Okay. This one.
Where it was.
This one?
Yes, the one on the bottom now, which is called Villa Putri Kirana. I would say it's a 5-bedroom, 350 square meters residence for a big family with 4 kids. Australian-Indonesian couple, and they had a big plot of land, I think 15 are, and wanted a contemporary design and surrounded by direct access to a very long pool as well. And yeah, we could work there very nicely with floating slabs, and you see the living room on the bottom right has a recessed double ceiling, so light is filtering in through these 2 layers of the ceiling, and then wide glassed glazed openings towards the garden, which can be fully open, so you get a good cross ventilation and you hardly need air conditioning in the living areas. That's the concept there. The middle building, the middle picture on the bottom, you see the guest pavilion, which is a pool, with open terrace as well. Many things are just focused on outdoor living. So because here in the tropics, you can spend most of your time outdoors as long as it's shaded, and then you can avoid to cool it down with a lot of electricity. The bottom left is the entrance situation. With big natural wooden doors, and then in contrast to the white slabs of the ceilings and the walls, this gives always a nice contrast. Yeah, so this is a project which I liked as well. So
okay,
I'm very happy there in this villa.
Okay, that's nice. What else that is so special about this project that you think is like you most proud of? Is it about like your relationship with the client itself, or it's about the value of the project, or what makes you think you feel so proud about the project?
So there are several things which make you proud as an architect, especially if you can fulfill your design. I think you manage the design which fulfills your own taste buds. So you feel, wow, we did something good. It's not only the client who is super happy and who's proud, but the architect can be proud as well and say, wow, yeah, we did something which was a little different. And each project you learn as well as architect. So this is something, if you can hand over the project and you realize the client is happy and you could fulfill things which you like as well, yeah, then we are proud, and we are super proud. Yeah, when we sent the team there to make photos, and maybe a couple of months after they moved in. For example, the photo you see there on the top is still maybe only 1 month or 2 months after they moved in. So all the trees are still very naked and kurus. Yeah? So that nowadays looks already very 2-3 years later. Yeah, but that's make us proud. Yeah. So if the architecture is good, we know we did a good architecture. Plus, the client is super happy with it. Yeah. And we could stay in the budget. That's always a thing as well, because the client will be not happy if you make them a gorgeous building which will be 100% over their budget. They will be not happy.
Okay, I see. Thank you very much, sir, for answering our second topic discussion. So yeah, moving forward to the third topic. So this topic discussion. So sir, after our discussions before, like, who is the right type of your clients for your service?
Very easy. The richest one. who wants to build the biggest house with the biggest budget and let me do what I want to do. Who has the most beautiful plot of land on a cliff looking down to the beach.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No,
So
okay, seriously, who is the right type of client? Yeah. I believe in communication. So it should be clients who are able to communicate properly and constantly, who are really available. So when we have questions, answer fast the emails we send them, who are ready for meetings, who can listen as well. So that's always makes me as architect happy. So if there's a real conversation about things, there's a really exchange, and then you can connect design-wise, technical-wise, but lifestyle-wise, is because you discuss in such a relationship, you discuss so many things. It's not only about the architecture; it's about you discuss family problems and joke around about these things. You learn a lot about your client, and in this process of designing something for them. And so communication helps a lot. If communication is good and clients are willing to share what they really want, and if they have an own distinguished idea what they want, it's very helpful as well. So yeah, this type of client is helpful if they have clear ideas about budget, about what they want, what they don't want. Then we come much faster to decisions with them.
yeah, yeah. I completely agree on that part as well. Yeah, I mean, once again, I'm not designing a building, but it's designing the type of, applications, website. Our clients need to be really details on that part as well. Yeah, so okay, so this kind of a sensitive topic, if I ask. So yeah,
Please.
in the simplest way possible, sir. How do you typically charge for your services? That we have like seen your works, your services, your portfolio here. So how do you typically charge for those stuff?
You see that? That's my book of fees, and it's book with 7 seals. So you know that expression, a book with 7 seals.
Okay.
So with my clients, I'm very transparent about this, and of course, in such a talk, when we have an interview, I think it's not really appropriate to say, "Oh, that's our fees," or because fees, even we have a very standard fee base. It's not really negotiable, these things, and still be flexible. Yeah? Because if there's coming a client who is really very motivated and really knows what he wants, but little budget, and then I would never reject the client because he don't has enough money. So to him what we can do for him for his budget. Yeah.
Okay.
But general fees are charged in my office like internationally, like everywhere in the world. So I follow a rather German system, how engineers and architects are paid for, which is in Germany actually a fixed fee. You cannot negotiate these things. It's the same with doctors and notaries. You know what the service of a doctor and a notary costs, and he cannot negotiate. It's with architects in Germany, it's a very clear percentage, and it's normally a percentage on the price. That means on the construction cost, and we charge a certain percentage. And this percentage is very similar to all, as far as I know, to all international architects around who have quality standard, who have a certain seniority. They're all in the same range, the services. And it depends on what the client needs, because an architecture design process is divided in at least 7 phases, from a preliminary assessing of the land, going to the land, meeting the client. First sketches is the next stage. Then architecture preliminary design, architecture final design is a phase, and then the permit drawings is a phase. Construction drawings is a phase, and then the whole tender is another phase, and supervision is another phase. So each phase has a certain percentage, and depending on what the client needs, it comes to a certain fee. I can tell you it's not really a secret. So it's always around between 8 and 10, sometimes 11% if the project is very complex. So it's in that range fees of construction costs. If the client wants a package of everything, from the first assessment until handover supervision, it's something like that.
Oh, okay, I see. So yeah, for our part, or for anyone who wants to use the services of OG Architects, I think it would be better to contact OG Architects directly.
It's very important to you can imagine as an architect, you get so many emails, people request, oh, I have this piece of land, how much do you charge? And I'm really a little bit reluctant just to throw out prices. Now, normally I expect people to at least spend an hour to visit me, sit together with me, have first show me their pictures of their land, and show me what they want. And then I tell them in a personal talk how we charge, how we work, what costs do they have to expect, not only from me, but from other planners, I mean, from other engineers and consultants. And so they get really knowledge in a first meeting. And I think it's important so that clients come to my office and talk to me before we go into fees.
Okay. I think in your company website you have all the details, information to how to contact OG Architects there.
Yes.
Right, sir?
True. Okay. It's all there, and in Instagram as well. If you Google our name, you will find it. Our webpage actually under construct. I mean, it's there, it's online, but we are building on a new webpage, and I guess in hopefully 2-3 months there's a new webpage out with the latest project as well, because the webpage which is there now, sadly, is already 7 years old. There are good projects inside, but the last 7 years, the project we did, they are not represented on the webpage.
Okay. So yeah, we will take that into account and we will put that in our blog post letter. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for that. So yeah, this is sadly our last topic discussions. And yeah, so any last thought for our audience, for our property owners of Bukit Vista? For anyone who watches this video in the future who are looking for OG Architects?
So actually, I don't know exactly who are your clients or your own. So, but if I should give advice as an architect, if somebody needs the services of an architect for their new house, their new project, for a renovation or whatsoever, as normally investments are rather high as soon as you hire an architect, because we're talking about a renovation, a new house, whatever. Often things start with 100,000 US and up to 1 million or something, for bigger projects. Or for this hospitality school, it's 1 million, So, and when we talk about this amount of money, please just visit several architects, make a study. So don't buy a cat in a box. Often it happens. Many clients just visit one architect and then but they would normally, if they buy a car for a fraction of the price, they would go around and spend days of comparing different sellers and different brands and so on. Same with architects. It's so important that you find the right architect for your services. So spend some time, talk to architects, get different proposals. Don't expect them to design for free for you, to make a design proposal for free. That doesn't happen. But talk to them and find out who you connect with. And I think then, if you choose an architect where you connect well with, where you think the portfolio is good and he's doing the quality level you need, then a contract, but not do it only based on fees or only based on one talk. So, that would be my advice.
Okay, thank you very much for that, sir. So yeah, I hope for anyone or the property owners of Bukit Vista who are watching this or who are going to read this video later, will take that into account. Okay, so yeah, that's it actually.